So we got sourdough pancakes today. I have a starter that I feed every day. You see the bubbles on it. You feed equal parts flour and water to it. And you discard most of it. Keep equal parts flour and water for it. But you don't have to discard. You could just keep feeding it. You're just going to have a larger, you're going to have a lot more to feed. You know, if I measure this, then I'm going to need equal parts flour and water to it. And so it's important to either use it or you can put it in the fridge. Then you don't have to feed it as much, and so it won't grow as much. But it will stay alive. It'll just kind of be relaxing in there. And then once you bring it out and bring it to room temperature and feed it, it's back vibrantly, you know, growing the bubbles and everything. So for this recipe, I actually have blueberries, so that's going to be nice. I can't wait. But we're going to put a cup of this starter in to start, and 3/4 cups of almond milk or any kind of milk that you have. I suppose you could use buttermilk, but you kind of already have the sourness of the starter already. But we'll put some baking soda in also, and you can sweeten it with sugar. You can sweeten it with white sugar, brown sugar. I've got maple syrup, just because that's what's going on it anyway. And of course, we're gonna melt some butter, probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter. And then that'll be it. We'll put it on the pan and flip them and go from there. So let's get started. So we've got the 1 cup of starter. We have 3/4 cup of almond milk, any kind of milk. We have 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and our 1 egg. And we're just gonna beat this up, get that mixed. Now it's ready for the dry ingredients. So we're gonna put a cup of flour in, about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I mean, it's like a pinch, you know, not too much, because they are pancakes. You want them sweet. And a little bit of baking soda, about a teaspoon of baking soda. All right. So we'll go in with that. Okay. And a little bit of salt. So we start mixing this up. We don't like lumps. And you're just there. Real simple. Batter's done. I put a little bit extra butter in. I think I put 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of butter. Just because I like that little crispiness on the edge. So I'm going to put butter in the pan with these. And then also, what else can you do? I'm going to put blueberries in mine. You can keep them plain. You can add cinnamon. I like adding cinnamon to everything. Cardamom to give it kind of a warmer flavor. Nutmeg. Or you can just keep it like this. But I'm going to put in a few warming spices. So we added a little butter. You can brown it if you like, just to get a little nuttier flavor, adding a little bit of complexity to your pancake. I just want it melted. So we take a spoonful. We'll start with 1. Let's start with the plain one first. And put a couple in. Oops. It's early, you can combine this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put a third one in. As you can see, I'm using my favorite new pan. And I was able to just slide that pancake right over. I'm getting bubbles in them, so they're about ready to turn. That first one is, at least. Make room so that I can check this out. Oh, it looks good. You see, it gives it that crispiness on the edge when you put butter in it. Next ones I'm going to do without adding butter. See, I can move that out of the way. Take this without disturbing the other. Whoops. And that is a perfect thing because I can eat that. I should have put cardamom in. That would be nice. But I can take the cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg. Take a look. See, these non-sticks are very forgiving. You just scrape it towards it, it puts it all back together. So I've started another one. This is 2 large spoonfuls of the batter. And now I'm gonna put a bunch of blueberries on there so that every bite has a blueberry. Let me check on it. Ready to flip. Just let it. What you want to get is those bubbles around the edges before it's time to flip it. Like those edges. All right, we're gonna take the challenge. Boom. Not bad. I'm gonna try to keep this one round. You can see the bubbles forming, so it's getting done on the other side. Oh, it looks pretty. It's a nice golden brown. Easy to scoop. Yeah, it looks pretty. Ready to flip. Nice and round. We just need to get it cooked all the way through. And because this is a non-stick pan, it's okay to put these on the blueberries in afterwards, so that it'll be, you know, they look pretty plain right here, but once you cut into it, that's where the surprise is. And so when you take it off of the pan, it's gonna come right off. It's not gonna stick. I think one of the benefits for using the sourdough, I find it gives it a more fluffy texture. It's a lighter pancake, if that makes sense. So try it out. I don't think that you'll have any complaints, but I think pancakes are great because you can play around with the recipe. See how the blueberries kind of disperse? I'm gonna let that cook a little bit longer on that side, because you can play around with it. You can put warming spices in, you can make it more savory. Maybe you want to put cheese in it, and then you have cheesy eggs with it or something. I like to put, you know, things that are kind of warm in flavor. All right. So you want to start with a clean pan every time you do your things. Otherwise you'll have burnt little pieces of pancake, and you don't want that. All right, so let's do that again. Again, we scoop. Don't worry about drizzles because it's a round pancake. You can pick that up, just make it rounder, larger. So I got 2 scoops. I'm spreading it out a little bit so that it cooks evenly. And we just want to get that edge. Now we put whatever it is, strawberries, blueberries, nuts. Hazelnuts would be nice, a nice crunch. Blackberries. Perfect. We want a blueberry in every bite. That one looks sad there. We'll put that in the middle there. The bubbles are forming. Let's take a peek. Oh, it's getting there. You see the larger bubbles forming, so this is really getting done. This is how you make sure that you don't have a doughy center. Don't flip it too soon. Also, make sure your heat is not all the way up, because then you'll just kind of scorch the skin and it'll be a raw pancake otherwise. Burnt looking pancakes with raw inside is no bueno. Boom. Scrape that in so you got a perfectly round pancake. And again, I don't even see the blueberries, so it's like, well, what am I getting? If you like a thicker pancake and you're not sure it's done all the way, you can put your oven on to like 300, 350 and put your pancakes in there for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, no more really. And at that point, you can make sure that the inside's done and it's not doughy. Check this out. I don't really need to flip it over, but I just want to. So that's all the blueberries are already bursting. So when people bite into that, it's just going to be kind of a burst of blueberries. Last ones. And I'm going to pour it so that I get everything. This way you get all of your batter in the pan, or at least most of it. Okay, this is the last one. Get all of it in there. Take your time. When you rush is when things get sloppy and they start looking crazy. So you want to, move fast enough to where the pancake's not done by the time you're topping the fruit on there, but slow enough to where you get everything you need and a little batter on there. You get everything you need, and it's a nice presentation, if that's important to you. Flavor is very important, but I really like to make sure that my food looks nice too. Getting the bubbles. Take a look. Oh, looks good. And you see it's already starting to cook on the edge there. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it. That's how you know, because it's not going to splatter out too much when it starts cooking on the edge there. Ooh, that was a close one. Made it over. Don't get lazy with your flips like I did. And don't move it right away, because obviously it's not cooked all the way. But after it cooks a little bit, I can slide that over a little. See? That's why I like this pan. These kind of pans, you don't want to use metal, otherwise you'll mess up the enamel in it and it won't be non-stick anymore. This pan, the link is in the box below. Check it out. Reasonably priced. I don't think it's more than $30. It's a very large pan. Take a look. I'm gonna go a little longer. And yesterday I made like a quick, I cooked some sausage and put some pasta sauce in there, heated it up real through, and added some beet greens to it. And it was like a perfect warming you know, pan as well. I'm gonna turn that off because that was our last one. And that's it.